What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, I was looking at an old video, an old clip of Gilbert Arenas, and he was talking about. It was actually a clip I saw on Facebook. It was where Vlad was asking him, "Name me a player who was super talented, all out of this world, but never wasn't really a hard worker to get to the level of a Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James." And Gilbert says, well, you know what? Since I've already put it out there, he mad at me for saying this, but I'll say it. He said Vince Carter. Like, he described Vince as having all the intangibles to be an all-time Pantheon great player, right? But I'm paraphrasing. Vince never had that certain, like, I guess what people would describe as a certain type of dog on the court to get to that level of a Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, or LeBron James. People thought Vince was going to be the second coming of Mike during his emergence. My brother, God rest his soul, his favorite player was Vince Carter. And it started when we watched Vince in that dunk contest. We watched that live, me and my brother. Both watched it live. And after that, we were watching Toronto Raptor games on a regular because we had, cable, the satellite, all that. We was watching because my father was a cable man, right? We was watching Alvin Williams, Jerome Williams, Antonio Davis, Keon Clark. I became to know these players just because we were watching Toronto games to see what Vince was going to do next, right? And I agree about Vince didn't see blood on the court unless you were under that rim while he was on the court. That he took very personal. You standing in the paint when he on the court, because he like, I'm finna take flight on your ass. That was his thing. He loved to dunk on people. But as far as like in the natural flow of the game, it's like he never was really bloodthirsty on the court like that a lot of times. And I think the reason for that was that Vince had other interests outside of basketball. When you watch him on All the Smoke with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, Vince was in the band while he was an All-American, McDonald's All-American basketball player. That is unheard of, right? Like, most people be like, I'm not gonna do no band stuff. You the man on the basketball team. He had other interests growing up. Basketball was not his end-all, be-all, and it wasn't his universe, moon and stars. Sun, moon, and stars, it wasn't. It was the tool that made him rich, that, gained him a life of affluence. And I believe he really loved the game, but I don't think Vince ever desired to be the best player there ever was on this earth. I don't think he ever had that desire. He like, yo, I love hooping. I like having fun. I like dunking on people. I like being able to, show my impact on the court and entertaining the fans. I like being out here and showing what I could do. But it was never like, I don't think Vince had a urge to, yo, I want to surpass Michael Jordan. I want to be just as good as him. It was just like, man, I'm finna come out in this court and show everybody who Vince Carter is. And that's cool. That's cool. And despite all of that, y'all gonna hate me for saying this, he was still a better player than Tracy McGrady. Because y'all love Mac. Mac never got out the first round. Vince Carter got out the first round. Okay, Vincent Lamar Carter got out the first round. Tracy McGrady did not. And I think Vince is an 8-time All-Star, Tracy McGrady 7 times. So some people are like, well, what's the difference? One All-Star appearance? But again, when Vince was at his height, they was getting out the first round. T-Mac at his height was not getting out the first round in either conference. Eastern Conference with Orlando or the Western Conference with the Houston Rockets. He wasn't, but yeah, I think Vince just, he had other interests. And when I'm hearing him in the band, bro, I'm like, damn, he really was an artsy type of guy. He was into musical. I'm sure Vince, outside of the court, has interest in art and all other stuff. I don't know if Vince, do you think Vince really, if it wasn't his job to do it, do you think he would watch basketball all day long? He probably wouldn't. Because some guys are just naturally gifted at a sport, but they don't make it their life. Like, and I think this might be a bad example because he's not playing right now. He's not in Major League Baseball. Tim Anderson. Tim didn't grow up striving to be a Major League Baseball player, really. I think he really wanted to be a basketball player, for real. But then he saw that he had just a natural gift for playing baseball. He had a natural gift for it. He learned how to hit pretty young and he got good at it. Before going on that drought that he had, in Major League Baseball, right? But when they asked him, "Do you watch baseball?" He like, "No, it's boring. I don't know, it's a boring sport." Tim really did not. You had young dudes in Major League in baseball like that were in the minor leagues that dedicated their entire life to being a baseball player and dedicating their entire life to being a major leaguer. Tim just found he found a way to hit. He was playing a little bit as a kid. He went back to it in his later life in high school, got good at it, and was able to ascend. But that was not his world. Tim really probably wanted to be a basketball player. He did not. And you can see it in the way that Tim struggled to fit the persona of what certain clubs wanted players to be. Like even certain fans, baseball is a country club type environment. They got their nose stuck high in the air in baseball. You're not one of us. You can't sit with us unless you do it like this and you play ball like that and you don't taunt and you walk this way and you talk this way and you gee willikers, gee golly whiz. And that was never Tim. He was really Tim was unapologetically black. He knew he didn't fit in with the Major League baseball, the country club appeal, and he didn't try to. And also, baseball was just not his real passion. Again, he used that to make himself wealthy, to take care of his family, his children, all of that. And that was the thing. He was like, yo, this is a vessel for me to get, I'm not saying he didn't work hard. I'm sure he worked hard, right? But he had other interests, is what I'm trying to make a point. I think Vince Carter was the same way, like Tim Anderson. But again, when I heard Vince was in a band again, I'm like, yo, because I went to a high school, Morgan Park, that was band heavy. My friends in high school went to school on band scholarships in the SWAC, in the MEAC, and all of that, right? So I'm like, damn, I could never imagine. I went to school with a McDonald's All-American, Wayne Blackshear, right? Went to play for Rick Pitino at University of Louisville. They won a national championship in 2013. Wayne was putting up 40, 50 on the regular at Morgan Park. I could never imagine Wayne in the band during football season. Like, I was like, damn. Like, cause he was just a hooper. That was who he was. But people can have more than one identity and more than one interest. And a lot of times when a athlete has interests that are deeply rooted outside of their sport, sometimes it affects their ability to be bloodthirsty on whatever field they're in. Now, Deion Sanders is a rarity. Bo Jackson, Deion had more interest than just football. He played baseball. He liked basketball. But he was bloodthirsty in every one of those sports, right? Same can be applied to Bo Jackson. But everybody is not wired that way. You know what I mean? And so I still got my Vince Carter jersey somewhere. I had it on the couch the other day. Right? Vince still my guy. But I know what he means. Like, Vince had it, man. He just didn't. He was only bloodthirsty when he seen you under that rim. And it was like, yo, what the hell are you doing in my domain? Get your ass from under this rim before you get put through the basket. Other than that, Vince was like, man, I ain't really tripping on that other stuff, man. It is what it is, dog. That's really what it was with him. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. But I understand I really understand what Gilbert Arenas was saying. He wasn't trying to be disrespectful to Vince. And he said, I can't speak to Vince's work ethic. I was not in the locker room with him. I'm not saying he didn't work hard. But it's just like, yo, he could have probably taken it to another level had he had the real desire to be the greatest of all time. I don't think Vince had a desire to be the greatest of all time. He had a desire just to show who he was and show what he could do. And that was cool. That was cool. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes it happens like that, man. What are y'all opinions on this topic? Machiavelli Mills TV. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm out. Peace.